I'm dreaming in dreams bigger than me, taking my time, giving to me, paint my life into a masterpiece.
Hey guys, it's your girl Temptress. If this is your first time stumbling upon my beautiful face, like, comment, and subscribe. If you're a returning viewer, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notification bell so you can get updated every time I post. Alright y'all, today we're gonna do a mukbang story time. My mukbangs are different because I'm doing it from the comfort of my own bed. And instead of large amounts of food, I'm gonna do a fruit mukbang. So I got me a smoothie. It has pineapples and blueberries in it, and it's delicious. And I already took my pills and stuff, so I'm ready to cut up on this story time. So this is story time of how I was SA'd by my sister Coworker and the toxic family response after it all went down. Let me get into it because it already sounds like a lot, don't it? So before I moved in here, I was living with my sister in her apartment. Before I had my own apartment, of course, but I was living with her in hers. And everything was fine in the beginning. It was me, her, and her boyfriend. We all three was living together. And I would sleep in the dining room area. And as their relationship kept hitting rocky paths and things and stuff started happening with them, they ended up breaking up. But we're not gonna get into that yet because I ended up moving out first. I moved out, went and lived with my brother and my sister-in-law at the apartment they had. So I went over there. I lived there. Everything was fine in the beginning, and then they were taking advantage of me and using my money for not the bills and stuff like that, and it was just too much. And then they ended up getting evicted and stuff, and then I had to leave out of there and move back in with my sister. But the reason I moved out the first time was because these motherfuckers would like buy stuff for themselves and buy food for themselves and stuff like that. And when I look back at it now, I could be overreacting when it comes to that situation. But yeah, I moved out that first time, all that, boom, moved back in. As I moved back in, this was during the time that he was literally leaving and they were breaking up. So he left, they broke up. It was a messy situation. So I moved back in. I take my old place back. I'm in the living room again on my bed because I had my own mattress and my own like bed frame and stuff, my own setup. But I was staying there, and while they were going through what they were going through, and she was healing from the breakup and all that stuff, she moved in. A pregnant girl first. The pregnant girl moved in. I didn't know her. I didn't welcome her in. I didn't know her whatsoever. But my sister knew her, and this is her apartment, so I couldn't say anything about it. So I just went along with whatever the hell was going on. Pregnant girl living there, her baby, because she already had a baby. She was just like pregnant with another baby. A huge situation. She's living there. She's laying on the mattress on the floor in the living room where I am. Technically not on the floor though, because I think my sister put a headboard and the bed frame up because she didn't want the girl, the baby, to be like sleeping on the floor. So she had like a big mattress set up for them. So they would sleep there, all that. And I had my mattress across the room in the dining room area. So pregnant girl in the living room, I'm in the dining room area. And yeah. Like, me and the girl was cool and stuff like that, because I've never been a drama-filled person. I never had problems with people. So everything was cool. Me and her go to McDonald's, all that stuff, hang out, talk, and all that. And she was trying to figure out how she was going to give my sister money for rent and stuff and all that. And yeah. So that whole situation is unfolding. And all shit hit the fan one day, and they end up getting into it about money and all that stuff and situation and all that. And my sister ended up kicking the girl out. It was messy. It was a mess of a situation. Kicked her out. Boom. This is where the problem started. She moved her coworker in, and all shit hit the fan. She moved him in, and everything was cool for like 2 weeks. He was sober and stuff like that, because I didn't find out till later that he was charged for drugs. He had like a 10-year prison sentence that he served for drugs and stuff like that. So all that was going on, but everything was cool. And then one night they weren't. So my sister ended up going on a date. She ended up getting home. She went out, yada yada yada, got home. At this time it's 2 a.m. We're up talking, and so she explained to us how her date went, all that stuff. Sitting in the bed, everything's all cool and stuff. And yeah, I ended up falling asleep before everybody else did. By the time I fell asleep, it was 3 a.m. I was gone, I was asleep. And I woke up to him performing oral on me. I jumped, I pushed him away, and I laid down for a good 20 seconds. And as I'm laying down, he's in the bed on the floor making groaning noises. And while I'm in the other bed, and I'm just like horrified, disgusted. I didn't know what to say. I cut the light on. I lifted up, cut the light on, jumped out the bed, ran into the bathroom for a good 10 seconds, 20 seconds. I stayed in there for a little bit. I breathed, and then I went into my sister's room, and I told her everything that happened, and it was this whole situation. We ended up going to sleep and figuring it out in the morning. By 7 a.m., called the police because I wanted to press charges. We called the police. They pull up. They take my case. They take my case and all that stuff, and the information and the details, and they give me my case number and stuff like that. And they tell me that I need to go do a SA kit as soon as possible so they can get the evidence and stuff. Because I kept the same clothes on from when it all happened to that morning. And
you want to read it? I'll get real quick. You okay? So it was just oral penetration, correct?
yes,
Okay. If you feel like you need to go to the hospital, you can ask if they can do a kit on you. Just let them know exactly just what you told us. Let them know as well. And if you do get a kit, I'm gonna bring what we call a blue form. You can call that.
She didn't take a bath. Can they still get saliva?
They possibly could. Let me make a quick.
I see her glasses a little longer outside the body.
Alright, we're at the
So, on the message,
No, he owes me.
oh, okay, gotcha.
That's what we were saying. I was telling him, and also I want my money back and when you come to pick up your stuff, you know? So we were talking through Miss Emily, and then he would text me through his phone, so that's why it's all broken. But I was basically telling him, like, in between that, we're talking about what he owes me, the rent that he was supposed to give me, him not having a place to stay, and then on top of that, we're talking about her, and he was dabbling in and out, saying things like, well, she was always just talking to me about relationship problems and stuff like that. Yeah, you were always willing to listen. You gave advice about guys. We didn't know. And I mean, most of the time she's talking to me, and you jump in anyway. So we weren't gonna ignore you. Like, what's the point of moving you in and then we isolate you? You get what I'm saying? So it's just casual conversation. You don't read into that and think, well, shit, I'll do better than show you or something. That's not how it works. And I told him, you knew you were wrong because if you even felt that she was giving you those signs, it's not hard to say, hey, Miracle, you know, do you think me and you could possibly or something like? She's 21, young, way younger than him. She's grown. She can pick and choose if she wants something from you. So it's not hard to look at her when she's conscious, not sweet.
No, actually, what
And
he did,
say,
what he
hey,
did is
I
actually
want
wrong. I just want to let you know that. Okay? You have all right to give him, like, yes or no, that's up to you. That's what he did is not right. That's all. I want you to know.
Alright then.
So my partner will go get a form with a lot of information.
Anything else I should do? Just
Uh,
report it.
Right now, you feel like you're gonna go to the hospital, get the kits, or so if you decide to go to the hospital, they will have a kit they call kit that detect a lot of stuff on your body, and then they check in and outside. So to make sure that he doesn't leave any DNA so that can be evidence.
Quick question. Where did it happen on the bed? Were any of those sheets present when you... Which ones?
Both of them?
Both of them? Okay. So we're gonna take them to get them tagged properly. And the investigator did say yes, go ahead and go to the hospital as soon as you can. Just get a kit done. Whenever you go to the hospital, tell them I need a sexual assault kit done. Let them know that it was just oral though. Okay? Because I think there's a different procedure for that one. But you get it done, and then once you do that, they'll take care of that part. They'll call us once it's been completed. That way we can go pick it up, or another officer will pick it up and send it to our property room.
It'll be kind of hard getting to a hospital because it's not really one walking distance.
Walking distance. That'll be my best advice, so the charges can go through. At least you have not just it's your word and his word. There'll be physical evidence.
It's better if we collect more evidence we could, so we can make sure that he got what he that's what it is.
Yeah, we'll take the just the bottom part, or the top of the comforter was there too. Was it on top of you or anything?
It was on top of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll take both. Okay.
You want a bag?
Do you have a trash bag? I was about to ask.
Yeah, after a long day, I thought
The police get the report and stuff, and they take down the information, and they're leaving and all that. I ended up having to figure out how I would get there and stuff like that. And after it all happened, I needed a way to express myself because nobody really would listen to me. People in my life like really weren't taking me seriously with this whole situation, and it was emotional and traumatizing for me. And people just didn't understand. Because literally the first night after it happened, my sister ended up leaving me, going to go sleep over a dude's house, and I was left in the house alone. And I was already terrified of, being alone and him still being out there free. So people really wasn't taking me seriously, and it's whatever. So while all that is going on, and I ended up getting the money to go do my sexual assault. My SA kit, because I'm gonna have to cut that part out. But my SA kit. I'm getting the money from a TikTok viewer. I appreciate him, her, whoever it was. I appreciate them very much for it. But I ended up getting to the doctor. I did the SA kit. They took my clothes, everything that's evidence, took my sheets, all that stuff was taken. So I get back home that day and I'm getting a ride from a viewer on one of my live streams. Yeah, me and him used to message all the time. We met on Live Me not Live Me. We met on You Now, and we became friends and stuff like that. And he lived where I lived and stuff. And he gave me a ride, bought me some McDonald's. He had a girlfriend, y'all. Don't get it misconstrued. But I get home, boom, I eat the McDonald's and stuff and all that stuff. And I just sit and I breathe and I try to relax myself. And it was hard for me to even much be alone that whole entire night. When my sister left, it was difficult because I couldn't sleep with the lights off. I literally had every light in the apartment on because of the whole situation. I could not sleep at all. I couldn't sleep in my bed. I would try to sit on my bed and it would just take me back to where I was when all of it went down and it all happened. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I couldn't record anymore. And this was during the time I was really deep on TikTok and I couldn't record anymore. I ended up cutting my hair off, getting a fade. I literally did all that. Hey guys, I'm here to... I was literally having a mental breakdown and some people didn't notice, except one person. He noticed right away. My boyfriend, of course, he knew that I was literally going through it. He knew. And this was during the time I met him. This was literally in October. I ended up meeting him October 2nd, and he already knew that I was having a mental breakdown. And I would try to tell people that I just cut my hair because I wanted to, but in reality, I didn't want to admit to myself that I was having a mental breakdown. It was a lot on me, and I just felt disgusting. I literally was just stressed out going through it. And as I started assimilating back into my normal life and getting back into as I started getting back into the swing of things and doing everything that I used to enjoy, dancing and just being happy, they ended up catching him and all that stuff, and they ended up telling me to pick him out from a lineup. I picked him out, boom. He ended up getting arrested, then they ended up letting him go because something about they couldn't hold him. So all that is going on, and in the midst of all that, my family ends up finding out about what happened through my TikTok and me just talking about it on TikTok and stuff. This was during the time I wasn't close with my family, because I ended up branching off my own path and taking. That's also another story, but I won't get into that. The situation ended up happening between me and my mom, and I just wasn't close with my family at all anymore during this point in time. So when they found out and stuff, they was like, "You okay?" And after that, it was just like, whatever, and I'm like over it. So after that, let's get into the toxic family response, and then I'll update y'all on what's going on with the case now, because I haven't really said much of an update except on TikTok, and I know people want to know what happened. So let's get into the toxic family response. After everybody found out and all that stuff, me and my sister ended up getting into a fight, and that day she threw water on me, broke my window, all that stuff. She ended up blaming me for my sexual assault, saying it was my fault and that I led the man on and the stuff I was wearing, and it was my fault that he did that to me. And it hurt, but no, like, and then I told my mom after we lost the apartment, because I ended up moving in here with, my boyfriend. After we lost the apartment and all that happened, I ended up telling my mom, like, hey, she blamed me for my sexual assault and stuff. And my mom was like, it doesn't matter, get over it. She's still your sister, don't nobody care. Which made me distance myself from my family even more. Like, even now, I don't hang out with them as much as I used to. I used to allow them to influence my life and hang out with them all the time. And after that, I stopped. My family has always been toxic when it comes to abuse and things like that. They have a very dark past of just sweeping it under a rug. And I'm not just talking about my immediate family, I'm talking about extended family too, cousins, uncles, all that. And I know some of y'all growing up in a Black household can attest to that and be like, yeah, it's like, for me, pressing those charges and getting him arrested and putting him in prison was me trying to change what was normalized. When all my sisters, my mom and all that stuff, they went through their situation, they swept it under a rug, didn't get the person arrested, didn't do anything, and I wanted to be the difference. I wanted to put the person in jail, and I did. And I'm proud to say I did that, regardless of anything. Y'all, this situation cut me deep because it showed me that my family were not to be trusted. They didn't care about me. They didn't care about situations like that. They just allow it to be swept under the rug. My whole entire family. And I know some of y'all can relate to my story and this whole entire situation and stuff. But y'all, it was a difficult point in time. Moving in with my boyfriend and finally being free of that and allowing it to roll off my back and go, it felt good. I am happy, like genuinely happy. I am truly healed, and I'm able to say that with a smile on my face because I done everything right. The moment it happened to me, because this is really like one of the few times that it actually happened to me, and I decided to make a difference, and now I am able to encourage my siblings, my nieces, my nephews, you know, if anything like this ever happened to them, run, tell, don't be afraid to get the person locked up, don't be afraid to. Don't just sweep it under a rug because it can happen to somebody else. As for an update, he's in jail. Yep, he's in jail. Case is still open. I don't know if I'll have to testify in court because he's in jail for drug-related charges. He's in there for a long time again. So I would say my work was done, and I feel content with everything that happened. And I'm truly happy to say that. As for my relationship with my family and this situation, I forgave them for the sake of myself. Even though I didn't get any apologies from any of my family, I forgave them for the sake of myself because I needed to do that so I can heal in the proper way. I forgave them. All that is like said and done. I do hang out with them. I do plan on seeing them for Thanksgiving, but the dynamic isn't the same. I don't trust them. I don't see me ever having that trust with my family that I used to have. But I'm, still managing to get around them. I just don't see myself hanging out with them every single day the way I used to, calling them all the time and just being in that space with them. After all that happened, I don't see it. But yeah, y'all, that's the story time. That's the update. That's everything that happened. Y'all, my life is a roller coaster, but I appreciate you guys being here, watching it unfold with me, and just being important pieces of my life. I love every single one of y'all. I appreciate every last one of y'all for being here and just being a part of my situation and listening to me and constantly lifting me up. Like, I love seeing the comments where y'all tell me that I'm beautiful and y'all just uplift me, because sometimes, you need that love. And not having much of a family anymore, being on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, I have created something that I can say is mine and that I'm happy to have. I'm honored to be here among y'all and just I'm honored to be here among y'all and just have y'all here with me. And we're gonna be doing more storytime mukbangs, of course. Yeah, my whole life is a story time. So we're gonna have more story times, but this one is like literally the most popular story time for me because I literally went through this on social media. I don't know if I'm gonna insert videos and clips and stuff, but like, y'all, I literally went through this on social media, on TikTok, and this was like something serious for me, and it was just a lot. But yeah, I love you guys. Appreciate y'all for watching. And yeah, bye. Toodles.